Morning, good day, happy Monday. Good morning, Sonia. Nice to see you. One more day. That is true. There are birthdays coming up. I'm not going to say who exactly, but one of them is Sonia's. Sonia's birthday is very, very, very soon. Good morning, Sin Bagley. Nice to see you. Good morning, CC Design Stamps. Yeah, we have a birthday coming up. Sonia and I actually share very, very similar birthdays, very, very close to each other. But I'm not going to tell you when mine is. It's because I don't want to have birthdays. But Sonia's birthday is very, very soon. It's the 26th of January. It's true. It's very true. I hope you guys had a really, really great weekend. We're going to talk about what's going on this week, this really cool things. Good morning, Grandma Nay. Nice to see you. I am feeling a lot better. Yes, thank you. A lot better. I'm feeling really, really good. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think yeah, it's just minor cold. Not even COVID. Knock wood. Knock wood. So, your sister's birthday is the 26th. Oh, very cool. So she shares a birthday with Sonia, which is a really great day. Good morning, friend Marie. Nice to see you. Well, let me show you what is going on this week. It's a really cool week. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Well, I did have a really very, very swift recovery. I'm just a guy, and guys are babies, complete babies when they get sick. They're just impossible. Women are just so much tougher. They just like deal with it. So it was just more of like a nuisance. But I got the healing energy, and I'm feeling like $1,000,000. Oh, never worry about me. I'm invincible. I'm invincible. So today you look great. You look great. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying that because it's National Compliment Day. I'm really not. You look phenomenal. And it is National Compliment Day. Good morning, Terry Mitchell. Nice to see you. Oh, that's right, Fran Marie. You have like a ton of Aquarians around you, which makes you extremely lucky. Yeah, so it's National Compliment Day. Give a nice compliment. The thing is that you want it to be sincere, right? Nothing is worse than like insincere flattery, right? So if there is something that you like about a person or appreciate about somebody, then tell them that today. And especially because today the moon is in Libra. And Libra is like nothing more than to admire and be admired. That back and forth love vibration, that appreciation. Libras also love like tit for tat. Like, I always say, Libra is in a conversation. They're like, oh, the house is blue. Somebody says the house is blue. And then Libra will just automatically say, well, it's sort of like a green blue. But then if you say the house is green blue, the Libra is going to say, no, the house is really more blue. Like they don't have, they can't help it. They always adjust or they always add to it. And not just in terms of like tit for tat debate, but in terms of admiration and that love, that back and forth of appreciation and admiring the other person. It's very Libra. So it's perfect for National Compliment Day. Good morning, Florida Husky. Love to you and Florida. Thank you for joining us today. Man flu, exactly. Good morning, Joshua. Where are you, Joshua? What a great name, Joshua. Good morning, Mom E. Nice to see you. I'm having a weird Mercury retrograde thing with showing these. Good morning. Oh, as a Libra, you can confirm it to be true. Yeah, they love to admire and be admired. It's really nice. One of your brothers is a Libra. Yep, and he will come in and say, dang, I look good today. That is interesting. Libras are typically more self-deprecating. That's interesting. It's Sonia's birthday. It's Sonia's birthday on the 26th, and my birthday is fairly soon too, but I actually probably should disclose my birthday since in my job I ask for everybody's time, date, and place of birth. But my birthday is tomorrow. I'm not like big on birthdays. I just not at this point. It's like another day for me, and I wouldn't have said anything about my birthday, but I realized like in my work, I'm always asking for everybody's time, date, and place of birth. So it's kind of ridiculous for me not to share that with other people. But yeah, for me, it's just like another day. I think that we should celebrate ourselves every day. Anyway, back to our Monday for you. It is a waning moon that we're in. So we're still in this energy of the Cancerian full moon that we had last week. So it's all about letting go of things that no longer serve you. So you're making room for your new moon that we're going to have actually next Monday. A week from today, we have our new moon in Aquarius. And you want to make sure that everything is like cleared up. Everything's gone. You're not holding on to stuff that you don't like, that you don't need anymore in your life. So keep that in mind. It is also the moon's day today. It's a sensitive, vulnerable day of the week, which means you want to give yourself some extra TLC. And as I said, we do have a Libra moon today, which is perfect. It's really ideal for National Compliment Day. And our Scorpio moon we'll have tonight, which is going to be more about letting things go. So this Scorpio moon that we have tonight is going to be really good in terms of leveraging the full moon in Cancer energy last week, because Scorpio is all about letting go. The full moon is about releasing, banishing, letting go. So this week is a good week to take it easy and to just let go of those things that no longer serve you. The Libra moon today is good for partnering, beautifying, pampering, creating, balancing. As we said, Libras love to balance, negotiations, and kissing and making up. You may want to kiss away hostilities. One of the things that you might want to let go of this week to make more room for your new moon intentions on Monday with the new moon in Aquarius is resentment. You'll find that, or you may not find, hopefully you won't find, but one of Scorpio's things is that they can hold on to a resentment and they can fester, right? Because they feel things really intently, and they're very they're very intense. So one thing that you might want to let go of this week is resentment, and just like forgive people, because when you forgive, you're opening yourself up to receive more love and light. It's sort of a gift that you give yourself. What is it they said about forgiveness? It's about making space. Forgive. Oh yeah, it's for giving yourself space. I think that's what they say. Hi, Right as Rain. Thank you. Yes, I'm feeling phenomenal. So yeah, you want to do whatever it is that you can to let go this week for your new moon intentions on Monday. And speaking of which, if you are part of my locals and if you want to join my locals, I'm doing a new moon wish list workshop. I do something every single month for my locals. This one on for this month is actually going to be on the new moon. Excuse me. It's going to be, I do something for my locals every single month. So for instance, this 31st of January one is going to be my February one. So let's pretend that January 31st is February 1st, and come to my locals workshop. We're going to talk about how to create the ultimate new moon wish list. And this is probably a good supplement to the vision boarding that we did. The new moon wish list workshop, it's going to talk to you about how you can effectively create a wish list every single new moon. And it's perfect because it's on the new moon that we'll have this workshop. So join my locals if you want to go to that. And if you're in my locals, I will see you there hopefully on Monday. And that link is in the description below. So additionally, tomorrow, in addition to it being my birthday, it's also Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys. I'm going to look a little bit at her chart today as well. She's so beautiful, beautiful girl. We also tomorrow have our last quarter moon. So the last quarter moon is good for clarity and peace. It's a time of letting go of relationships, situations, and bad habits that no longer serve you. So do whatever it is that you can to, again, let go. In addition to it being the last quarter moon and Alicia Keys' birthday, it is Mars's day. So it's a great get shit done day. And I think that's doubly so because the moon will be in Scorpio. And Scorpio can be extremely intense, driven, and determined. So keep that in mind. Like if you have stuff to do, Scorpio moon, Mars's day, that's the day to do it. Additionally, on Tuesday, it's actually Sin Bagley, you're going to love this. I'm sure you know about this. It is a room of one's own day on Tuesday as well. So, with a room of one's own day, essentially, it's Virginia Woolf's birthday. And she had said, Sin, you can back me up on this, that in order for someone to be happy, they just need a room of one's own. Essentially, Virginia Woolf was a writer, Aquarius, and she needed that space to have quietude so she can create, right? Or she can write. So it was labeled as a room of one's own day on the 25th of January in celebration of Virginia Woolf. I knew you would. Sin. So who knows? Maybe on Tuesday, in addition to listening to some Alicia Keys, you may also want to really appreciate and enjoy a room of your own. Yes, exactly, Sin. Exactly. Everyone needs a little bit of space. So celebrate that on Tuesday as well. Additionally, on Wednesday, it would have been Paul Newman's birthday. Yeah. Paul Newman. Look at that look, though. It's so interesting. I was going through pictures of him. I'm like, that is a very sad, like tortured look. Doesn't he look tortured to you? Those eyes, there's so much pain behind his eyes, which I never really associated with Paul Newman. Good morning, Jamie. Nice to see you. Good morning, Quilla Bright. Oh, a private bathroom would not be a bad thing. I agree with you, Writer's Rain. Definitely. Yeah, it's Paul Newman's birthday, and a little bit of information I found out about Paul Newman. He is such an Aquarius, because Aquarians are pretty altruistic. You know how they say, like, everything comes with a price? I don't think that's the case with Aquarians. I think Aquarians are so detached and they're so humanitarian that they give you something. There's no like, well, I gave you this the other day, or I did this for you last week. They're very altruistic. They know that giving is receiving. And Paul is no exception to this. Paul was so great. So Susan Sarandon informed this reporter, that Paul Newman once gave her part of his salary. Yeah, this is a while back, but he discovered, along with Gene Hackman, that Susan Sarandon was being paid less than her male co-stars. So Newman and Gene Hackman, back in 1998, stepped forward and said, "We'll give you part of mine, or part of our salary." And yeah, what a great guy! What a great guy! A last minute? You want me to, well, no, I don't have the charts run of theirs right now. However, I will keep them in mind definitely, because they are two Capricorns that we kind of missed out. Maybe we'll do them next time the moon's in Capricorn, which is well, it's right before the Aquarius moon, so it's this weekend. Yeah, we'll do something like that. I'll make a note to myself. Let me see if I can. Ooh, I was clicking the thing to save your comment, and it said it gave me an option. It gave me an option to give user time out. Crazy. Why would they? Terrible that you have to actually you actually have that option. Anyway, Paul Newman, he's Aquarius, birthday would be on the 26th. Sonia's birthday. So she and Paul Newman share the same birthday. But yeah, he's a philanthropist, and he was a great guy. It's a waning moon again, of course, on Wednesday, so we're letting go of things. It's Mercury's day Wednesday, so Mercury is still retrograde. We have about 7 days from the 26th, or 8 days from the 26th of Mercury still being retrograde, and then it will be in its shadow. So check and double check things. You might want to return to places as opposed to going to new places, even like restaurants. Like if you're going to see a friend for dinner, it might be more advantageous to return someplace that you had been to before. Or someplace in your mind that you're like, oh, I got to go to this spot. As long as it was seated previously, then you're all set. All right, we will definitely. You got it. We're going to talk about John Denver's chart. Because I had actually planned on doing John Denver's chart even before the suggestion. So I think it's fate. Oh, he was a time traveler. Oh, I got to do some research. I didn't know that. Yeah, he's a very interesting guy. Additionally, it being Mercury's day, pad your schedule a little extra wiggle room. We have a Scorpio moon on Wednesday, which is good for research, investigation, healing, sex, regenerating, transforming, endings, art, and of course, moving on and letting go. Oh, I was going to say, I never heard that John Denver was a time traveler, although his chart is very, very interesting. And we will talk about that. And we'll talk about actually how his untimely death due to a plane crash, how that features in his chart too. So stay tuned. We'll do that. Maybe we'll do that Friday the next time I'm live. That could be really good. So additionally, like this video, please. I would so appreciate it. And also subscribe to my channel if you're watching this for the first time and you haven't already. That would be groovy. On Thursday, it's Donna Reed's birthday. Bonjour, Maggie. I feel so international. And well known when I have people from all around the world commenting. So thank you for joining me, Maggie. So yeah, it's Donna Reed's birthday. Quick little story from It's a Wonderful Life. Apparently, Jimmy Stewart blamed Donna Reed for it not being successful straight away. Of course, It's a Wonderful Life got picked up and played like ad infinitum, right? But when it actually came out, it didn't do very well. And Jimmy Stewart, who was also just so difficult during this because he didn't know if he wanted to be an actor, he didn't know if that was the best use of him expressing himself. And he blamed poor Donna Reed for the bad reception of It's a Wonderful Life. Can you believe that he did that? I mean, like, this poor, wonderful, sweet, perfect Aquarian would ever be to blame for something like that. Crazy. Additionally, in addition to it being Donna Reed's birthday, Thursday's a great day. It's a waning moon still, of course. Letting go continues. It's Jupiter's day, so it's all about expansion and growth and opportunity. And that moon in Scorpio is going to give way to Sagittarius. So, yes, she was. She played his wife, and she wasn't known. Donna Reed, she wasn't known. And when the film did bad, Jimmy Stewart, who the little bit I read about him, he's a bit of a jerk. I don't like anybody picking on Donna Reed. He blamed her. What a jerk! Like, it's upsetting. But you know what? She didn't care because she's an Aquarius, and that's kind of Aquarian's key phrase. It really should be, I don't care, because they really don't. They are detached. So it is Jupiter's day on Thursday. So it's all about expansion and growth. And again, we're going to have that Scorpio moon in the very wee hours of the morning. Excuse me. Yeah, we're going to have that Scorpio moon ending and entering Sagittarius. The Scorpio moon will leave at 2:34 a.m. and the moon will enter Sagittarius. Sorry, Mercury retrograde, can't speak. Sagittarius words and phrases, because when you wake up on Thursday, the moon will be in Sag. Aspiration, adventure, jovial, optimistic, broad-minded, outspoken, expansive, wanderlust, eager, and fun. So, yeah, it's going to be a nice little day. I love it when it's Thursday and the moon's in Sagittarius. It's like this double whammy of Jupiter energy that's a lot of fun. And on Friday, January 28th, it's actually Rubber Ducky Day. Yeah. Rubber Ducky Day. So maybe you utilize the energy of the Cancerian full moon that we had last week. You utilize it this week by getting some rubber duckies and getting into the bathtub. Or maybe you just play with your rubber duckies like this chick who's just having a great time with her rubber ducky. So Mercury retrograde will end February 4th. And I got some good news for you on Saturday, actually. I'll keep it a secret. But yeah, Mercury retrograde will be ending February 4th, and then it will be in its shadow period most of February, kind of in the clear by March. I'm looking at March to sort of be that time in which we're moving forward. So yeah, beautiful Sagittarius moon on Friday, which is going to be really, really cool. And it's also Venus's day. So make sure you're sending as much love as possible to everyone, to yourself and everybody that you care about in the world. It's a Sagittarius moon, so especially give love to the world at large. That Sag moon is also good for travel, study, exercise, adventure, spontaneity, publishing, broadcasting, sports, games, and gamblings. You have hundreds of rubber duckies? That is awesome. Well, you're going to be all set for Friday. You're going to be great on Friday. So, yeah, enjoy your rubber duckies. Also, on Friday, Mercury retrograde will conjunct Pluto. This is Charles Baudelaire. He was a French poet. Sin, do you know of Charles Baudelaire? I bet you do. You're a writer. So this was this French poet, and he was actually considered the godfather of goth, which is so funny because he wrote this one book called, I don't know what it is in French, but it's called The Flowers of Evil. And his philosophy was that beauty and evil were inextricable, that they were completely linked, that whenever there was beauty, there was also evil. I think he got hurt by a woman, and he's an Aries, so he wanted to, he was sort of dramatizing it. Aries always, when Aries are hurt, little secret, when Aries are hurt, they always pretend to act more hurt than they actually are. Let's not kid ourselves. Aries are tough motherfuckers. But what they do is they often play the victim. Not saying that, they haven't gone through their hard times. They have. But Aries milk it. They play the victim to win. And that's probably what Charles did. Whenever Aries act like they're hurt, sure, but not as much as they are pretending to be. Okay? Because that's how they win. Little secret. Sorry, Aries, I'm giving your secrets away, but that's really true. Anyway, this guy had this aspect in his chart, which makes perfect sense, right? Because he was considered the godfather of goth. No, Sonia, I really would wait a few weeks because we have Mercury retrograde. I would really, really try to do it. A little bit further on than February 4th. I would love for you to wait till March, if you can, Sonia, if it's possible. Because then, Venus too, like luxury items like a car. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that Charles Baudelaire did that. That's fascinating. So this aspect is pretty cool. It adds depth and intensity, right? Making it a good time to get to the bottom of things. Secrets under this aspect may be uncovered through study, research, or even probing questions. Where were you the night of January? Where were you the night of January 22nd? You might get to the bottom of things with this aspect, or by probing questions, maybe asking people things or having in-depth convos. Also, self-analysis is favored with Mercury's conjunct to Pluto. You might discover something very revealing about yourself. Oh my God, I'm a jerk! Or, oh my God, I'm doing this again. I'm always telling myself this story. This is a very important aspect because if you're wanting to manifest, you got to determine how you're in your own way. And especially because everything is very much about storytelling. Like, what stories are you telling about your finances? What stories are you telling about your love life? What stories are you telling about your home? We all have these stories that we play in our heads on a very, very subconscious level. So with this aspect, you're going to be able to dig deep and be like, oh, okay, well, what's a better story around my fitness? Or what's a better story around my friends, my love life, etc.? Yeah, she'll cooperate. I love the name. Hematite. What a great name for your car. Yeah, I'm sure she will. Maybe just take it easy. Try to. If you have to, you have to. I mean, there's some people who, you have no choice. Like say you have a deadline, your computer breaks. Well, you have to sometimes get a computer under Mercury retrograde. Astrologer Susan Miller actually had to do that. So yes, narratives are everything. So determine what stories you're telling yourself. Maybe look at your new moon goals and be like, okay, well, is this aligned with the story that I'm telling myself on this subject? Self-analysis is favored, as we said. It's intensifying our minds because Mercury is the mind and Pluto is the underworld. It's the darkness. So it might make it important for us to lighten up a bit and use a little bit of a soft touch. We might come across as a lot more intense. And with Venus, well, Venus is about ready to go direct, but with Venus technically still retrograde on Friday and Mercury still retrograde, you want to curtail that intensity. Like you don't want to flip out and go ballistic Scorpio style because it's just a bad idea. So yeah, keep this in mind. Maybe listen to some or read some Charles Baudelaire. He's really intense, great poet. Additionally, on Saturday, folks, lucky us, Venus is waking up. Finally. I mean, she has had quite the sleep. She is Venus, so she sort of likes to indulge. Are retrogrades always negative? No, in fact, they're never negative because it's a perfect universe, right? It's just imperfect people. Retrogrades give us an opportunity to really catch up and determine what we've learned in regard to the planet to which they're assigned these retrogrades. So, for instance, when Mercury is retrograde, it's almost like think of our brains as these filing cabinets, right? And it's like loaded in this paper oozing out of all your filing cabinets. Mercury retrograde comes along. It's like, okay, we got to order this. We got to organize this. Got to get rid of this and add this. And it's really about perfecting the energies of the planet within yourself, because as above, so below. So Mercury in the sky is also within us. And it's important for us to utilize the retrogrades to think better and more efficiently. So Mercury slows down, our thinking slows down, and therefore we're able to organize our filing cabinets, our brains. We're also able to really determine what it is that we're actually doing. Same thing with Venus, right? Venus is about love and beauty and harmony, money as well. And when Venus slows down, it gives us an opportunity to actually look at it. And it's not really it's slowing down, so it's not literally going backwards, but it gives us an opportunity to understand. And with Venus and Mercury retrograde at the start of this year, it's an opportunity to really zone in, and with Venus to look at our values, and with Mercury to determine what we're thinking about, what our day-to-days look like. So it's a perfect universe. Just want to use those retrogrades to slow down. And the thing is that for all of us, an object in motion, it's physics, right? An object in motion likes to stay in motion. So we can be very, very go, go, go. We can get into our routines, our habits, right? But the problem is, like, if you're in a routine, and I love routines, I love my routine, but if you're in a routine, you're doing it almost, it becomes rote, right? You just automatically do it. And the problem with that is, well, what if your routine is not aligned with your goals? Then what? Then you're wasting your time. You're going through the emotions of your routine. So my point is, this is why we have these retrogrades, because we don't want to keep going after things or go through the motions of doing things that are no longer relevant. And that's really big. Additionally, this Venus direct is going to make things a lot easier for us in terms of love. We're going to determine, okay, this is what I really value. This is what I want in my life. And then we'll be able to move forward with that. Venus will still be in its shadow period. So just keep that in mind throughout February for a little bit until we get to March. Saturday is Saturn's Day. Saturn's Day, the planet of discipline, restriction, and responsibility. So be sure to get your ducks in a row. After all, we have Rubber Ducky Day this week as well. So get your ducks in a row on Saturday. Saturn's Day on Saturday, of course, but it's also a double whammy of Saturn energy because the moon will enter Capricorn at 4:08 a.m. EST. Capricorn keywords and phrases include achievement, ambition, status, business, career, pessimism, cautious, responsible, and goal-oriented. Yeah. And Venus will be direct finally. How nice. And on Sunday is actually it's National Inane Answering Machine Day. It's always on January 30th, and people might think it's National Insane Answering Machine Day, but it's not. It's inane. It's inane. The meaning of inane is really, stupid. It's dumb, useless, senseless, or meaningless. So when we get these on our answering machines, it's inane, right? Maybe they're robocalls or whatever. But this day, National Inane Answering Message Day, it's going to help us put a stop to inane messages. So keep that in mind. Maybe do something for that. Maybe go through your phone, delete all those messages that are inane, because it's National Inane Answering Message Day, Answering Machine Message Day. We also have on Sunday it being a waning moon. So again, this is the last hurrah, folks, for your waning moon this week, because the next day we have our new moon in Aquarius on the 31st. Or February 1st, depending on where you are. If you're on the East Coast, I believe it's February 1st. Sunday is the Sun's Day, so be sure to celebrate your life, celebrate being alive, and Capricorn moon. Right before the Aquarius new moon, we have a Capricorn moon, so it's a great time to get things together, to create structure, order. The Capricorn moon is great for that, as well as planning, eating your frogs, those things that you don't want to do, but you have to do. Tending to your responsibilities, working hard, keeping your humor, and considering your contribution to humanity. Yeah. So, that is pretty cool. We also have on Sunday, the sun will square Uranus. But don't worry. You don't eat frogs, Quilla? Oh, you ought to eat frogs. At least when the moon is in Capricorn. Can you make it an exception for when the moon is in Capricorn? Because then, frogs you put salt on them or whatever it is that you wish. But the sun will square Uranus on Sunday. But, this is it's a square. It's a rough aspect. But really, how rough can it be? Because James Taylor had this in his chart. Yeah. So it can't be that bad. You might see fire. You might see rain. But remember, you got a friend. You got a friend. So this aspect could lead to a brand new path, in fact, that opens your life up to more possibilities. Open-mindedness and flexibility save the day, as we may feel anxious, tense, uncertain. No, not literal frogs. When I say eat frogs, I think it's like I forget who it is, maybe Brian Tracy. But when I say eat frogs, it's those things that you don't want to do that you have to do. So I think it's Brian Tracy or one of those like self-help guys. He's like, eat your frogs, meaning you eat your frogs in the first part of your day. So say you have a list and you're like, oh, geez, I don't want to do this. Well, you put that in your list first and you get it done and you stop complaining. Then you get to the other things. So eat your frogs means essentially do those things that are a pain in the ass that you have to do that you don't want to do. That's what it means. Usually just the legs. Yeah, I think you actually can literally eat frogs. Didn't he? He did sing some great songs. Yeah. Yeah. It's important. It's important. So yeah, we have this being a really interesting aspect. Open-mindedness and flexibility with this aspect are important, as we may feel tense, uncertain, or anxious. It's usually not much ado about nothing. But that sun squaring Uranus, it is this, it's very, very Aquarian, and it really is interesting that we're having this on the heels of our new moon in Aquarius, which is all that Uranian energy. So really, it's more a matter of where are the alarm clocks going off in your life, because that's what a Uranus does, and it wakes us up and it makes us see things that we hadn't seen before. And with the square to the sun, that at times might be almost like an insult to our ego, our personality. So there's a little bit of a conflict between these realizations, Uranus, and the sun, how we express ourselves. So you might feel or sense like what's going to change, what shoe is going to drop next. And it may not be anything, but you never know. Good morning, Common gave you. Nice to see you. So, yeah, be relaxed. Do whatever you can to be open-minded and flexible. Find a healthy outlet or a release for tension as to avoid abrupt or unpredictable behavior. You also may want to diffuse arguments with the sun's square to Uranus. Again, Mercury is still retrograde. Venus is still in its shadow. So, diffuse arguments. Otherwise, it could lead to a loss of face or unexpected consequences. And we want to have a really, really good week. We don't want to enter that new moon having said something that we regret. So have a nice outlet for your energy. I did run James Taylor's chart. I wanted to show you a little bit about this just because I thought it was interesting. First thing that we noticed with James is that he was a Virgo rising, right? So that makes Mercury the ruler of his chart, and Mercury is in Aquarius at 25 degrees. So this 25-degree Aquarius Mercury is sort of like the ruler of the chart. It bosses the other aspects around. It's the most prominent energy in the chart. So with Mercury in Aquarius, this is about innovation and really humanitarianism and thinking things from a higher picture perspective. Aquarius energy is very galactic. It's very like out there, and they're very like, tuned in, and they can get, these flashes of insight. So with Mercury in Aquarius, it's very, very likely that he heard his songs or he got ideas in terms of music and what he contributed. But that Mercury at 25 degrees, it isn't making they're not, the orbs are pretty tight, but this Mars is definitely, it's fairly close. It's within 6 degrees, making an opposition, a 6-degree opposition, Mars with Mercury. So his communication was sort of pit up against other energies that may have made it difficult for him to communicate. So Mercury opposing Mars, it's sort of, Mercury is the mind, and it's me expressing information or taking in information. And when it's opposing Mars, there's almost like something coming at you, or there's some kind of difficulty in terms of you letting go of the information and conveying it or receiving it. Or, it could be a matter of you're receiving it, but it's in a assaulting kind of way. So yeah, interestingly enough, he probably had a lot of issues with other individuals opposing him with that Mars and opposing his communications, which again, if his communications were if his communications were opposed, that means that he had to find another outlet for it. And lucky us, he did. That 25 degrees Aquarius Mercury makes a wonderful, gorgeous sextile with Jupiter on the galactic axis. How funny. He has Jupiter on the galactic center at 27 degrees. We've spoke a lot about the galactic center. It's a static point. Well, I say static. It just moves very, very, very slowly. But right now it's at 27 degrees. And the galactic center is our Milky Way. It's where there's a lot of potent, rich energy. Some people say that we get divine intelligence from it or energy from the aliens. But it's very, very magical. It's very, very potent. And James Taylor had it at 27 degrees. Jupiter. He had Jupiter on the galactic center in his 4th house. Now, this is interesting. So there's a certain power that he had in terms of 4th house. What does the 4th house have to do with? It's all about emotional security, feeling at home within the self. Because when you feel at home within the self and you feel unconditionally loved and cared for, then you can go up to the 10th house and be really, really successful. So the 4th house is about your privacy, your private sense of security, your emotional security, where the opposite, the 10th house, is your public sense of security, like your status, your position, your honors. So the example I always give is about Nixon, right? Nixon was a Capricorn, which is, Capricorns represent the zenith, right? The top of your field, right? And Nixon did achieve that having become president. But once he became president and he got to the top, what did he do? Well, he freaked out. He lost his shit, he got paranoid, and decided to tape record himself, which resulted in his downfall. Why? Because when he got to the top of the mountain, 10th house Capricorn, he couldn't stop biting his fingernails. Why? Because, well, there's a few reasons. He had Uranus, I believe, either with his moon or in his fourth house, but essentially he didn't master that fourth house. So he was able to achieve a lot of really great things, but once he got to the top, he like freaked out, got paranoid, tape recorded himself, which resulted in Watergate, downfall, etc. So but James Taylor actually had the galactic center, the galactic 27 degrees in his fourth house, which says to me that he had a tremendous amount of emotional security, or he was getting emotional security from the cosmos, from the divine. Really cool. Additionally, just like Kurt Cobain, James Taylor was a Pisces with a Virgo rising. Isn't that funny? Yeah, interesting. He also did have an Aries moon, which I like that with all of this more passive energy with that Pisces and that Virgo. It's really cool. Additionally, what else is there that's interesting about this chart? Well, yeah, that 22 degrees Gemini Uranus makes an exact square with his sun. So it's interesting. I would say the square between his seventh house of partnerships and his 10th house of success. His success may have been pit against his partnerships, meaning there may have been a conflict between his long-term partnerships, seventh house, with his career. So it's interesting. I haven't really looked at his history, but yeah. It's an interesting chart. So additionally, in regard to this chart, we also have Alicia Keys' birthday on Tuesday, and I really loved this chart. This is one of those charts that are just a gift for astrologers. She, no surprise here, has a Pisces rising, and Pisces. Good morning, sunflowers. Nice to see you. So she has a Pisces rising, making Neptune the ruler of her chart. So first of all, with Pisces rising, it makes her beautiful, which she is, and also makes her really connect with God-like energy, which you can see not only with her beauty, but with her music, which is really nice. Neptune is the ruler of her chart, right? And Neptune, oh, how funny is this? Neptune is at 23 degrees Sagittarius, also on the galactic center, within 4 degrees or 3 degrees and 4 degrees. So Alicia Keys also has this galactic center in her chart, prominently in her 10th house. It's interesting. We've been seeing a lot of this lately. So with Neptune on the galactic center in the 10th house, Neptune makes things like godlike. So Venus, for instance, or Neptune is a higher octave of Venus. So Venus is beauty and things are, gorgeous and lovely, but Neptune takes that to that next level. It's like, think of Cindy Crawford, right? Back in the 90s. She's just so beautiful. Like just looking at her, like lifts you up and it's like a dream, right? And Alicia Keys has that aspect, or she has Neptune in her 10th house. So what that means is that she, on the world stage, 10th house, is able to express that magic, that otherworldliness, that sense of like God exists. And I think that when you listen to these singers, or a lot of singers, not all of them, but when you listen to Alicia Keys, or even, especially Whitney Houston, that's like evidence of God. And Whitney Houston also had a very strong Neptunian aspect in her chart. Additionally, she also has a stellium in Libra, which makes sense because she is such a great singer, and Libra is all about harmony and partnership. And those energies go really, really well. Those Libra energies that she has here go really well with all this Aquarius. So that 24 degree Libra Pluto is really, really great for her Mercury and her Mars. So there's a fusion between her sense of power and her ability to communicate and to really go after what it is that she wants. Or because it's in the 12th house, it's sort of a matter of every fight that we all have really takes place in our brains first, right? And she has a very active 12th house. So with the 12th house, right, a lot of things here are hidden or they're obscured or they're in the subconscious. So what's interesting with Alicia's chart is that with her packed 12th house, the whole concept of things having to be real in the psyche first before you materialize them is really, really relevant there. This is really key for all of us. Like before you manifest something, it takes place in your imagination first, and then you let it in. Then you become a vibrational match to it. So that's why with your new moon wish list, your vision boards or whatever, you want to always clock your emotion of like, oh, okay, if I had this, this is how I would feel. And you practice that feeling, and then your subconscious grabs it onto it. So with Alicia, I'm sure she's done this quite a bit because her 12th house is so active, right? It's also a true gift that she has because her sun is conjunct the South Node where she's coming from. So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And again, there's a lot of trines going on here, a lot of trine action. It's interesting. Her Jupiter is conjunct Saturn and the moon. So this three-way conjunction, it's really about her expanding Jupiter, but also creating something that is of structure, of form, i.e. an album, etc. And then also nurturing it and putting a lot of moon power behind it. So I feel like with these aspects, she had a very, very strong sense of this is what I need to do. And especially with her North Node in the 6th house in Leo. So the North Node is your guiding star. It's what it tells you, like, oh, go here. This is the shortest route to your goals. And it's the destiny, right? And with Leo there, she was destined to perform, to be an entertainer, but in a very, very service-oriented way because it's in the 6th house. So, she's a very orderly person. I think that even though she might not come across as such, my guess is that she has a very strong schedule that's really, really, really tough, and that she really loses herself in her work, which is a very 12th house thing. Yeah. So that's about it from me here, folks. Be sure to celebrate James Taylor and Alicia Keys this week. Be sure to like this video if you haven't already, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already as well. And if you're looking to find out what's going on in your chart and how you can leverage this new moon in Aquarius that we have coming up on Monday, you can look me up. You know where to find me. We'll also read your tarot cards, find out what you might need to know for 2022, how you can make the most of this year and make all your greatest hopes, dreams, and wishes come true. Just check out my website, psychicsun.com, and we'll hook you up with a reading. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Happy Monday, and I will see you live again on let me see. Oh, 1 second. Does a doe, a female deer, or a whippet dog mean anything special to you? Not really. I can't think of anything. I'll have to give it a think and get back to you, but nothing in my head. Yeah, nothing in my head. Yeah, I will see you again live on Friday. My schedule's gotten a little topsy-turvy, but I will be able to be live on Friday again, so be sure to just refer back to this video. I'll include the timestamps if you want to find out what's going on for the rest of the week. But I will see you Friday, and we'll prep you for your new moon on Monday, and we'll talk more about the weekend and everything that you might need to know. So have a great day, everybody. I will see you soon.